All right, fair use, fair use, fair use disclaimer. This video is for educational purposes only. I want to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Waha, Rakak, Wadash, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shah. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, bishops, and great millstone who taught this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 men of the Lord you see on the highways and byways, prophesying in the name and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, also in the correct doctrine. I want to send a shalom to the one-third men, women, and children that will escape the justice of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah by their faith. Just got another lesson I want to bring out through the spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. As you see, deadly virus outbreak is getting weird. And I got a bunch of information I want to share with you on this lesson, because this is something that they are releasing like the bubonic plague, man, to knock off over half the population. So let's get right into these videos, hit a couple scriptures, and Lord willing, to be edifying.
The deadly outbreak of hantavirus on the ship is getting a lot more weird after what has been recently discovered. Here you can see the infected passengers being extracted and sent to the Netherlands, but here's the real concern. One of the people who died from this virus, well, actually it was a couple. The husband died on the ship on April 11th, but the wife left the ship. She went on a plane on April 25th, and she ended up dying the next day from the virus on April 26th. But now the World Health Organization is trying to track down the 98 people who flew on that plane with her, which was traveling from St. Helena to Johannesburg, South Africa. There's also a new case in Switzerland tied to the ship. He was showing symptoms in late April, and now he's in Switzerland being isolated and treated, but we'll get to that later. But isn't this all kind of weird to you? I mean, what do the passengers have to say about this? I would be freaking out. And the only video we have from inside the ship is the video I posted yesterday of the travel influencer who is completely freaking out, and then another influencer posting the exact opposite, saying everything is fine, but he won't be doing interviews about what's going on. He'll do interviews of his travel content, but that's it. Seems kind of odd for how crazy this situation is. I mean, the hantavirus, the Andes strain, if you look it up, has a 40% mortality rate, and it can be transferred from human to human contact not that easily through sleeping in the same bed or eating the same food as someone. There's currently no cure for this, but don't worry, there might be a vaccine for this soon. I found an article from 2024. Korea University collabing with Moderna to make a hantavirus vaccine. This all just feels way too familiar. The ship is currently going to Spain now, to the Canary Islands, and if we get any more updates, I'll be sure to keep you guys updated.
So they're looking for 98 people that was on that ship. And right off the bat, you can tell this is all suspicious, the way this thing is basically coming out. As you see here, this is on X. Somebody screenshotted it. It says a weird Twitter account predicted that the hantavirus would spread in 2026. It hasn't tweeted since cases have reached California, Georgia, and Arizona. So this is a what you call a dummy account. You see it right here, Smooth Sailor. It says 2023 Corona ended, 2026 hantavirus. And you see, everybody been reporting on this is a deadly virus, man. It says hantavirus has a death rate of over 40%, while COVID had only 1%. Now, COVID, a lot of people died doing that, man. A lot of people died. So you just got to imagine how this thing going to plan out now. As you see, 23 hantavirus cruise passengers went home before who stepped in. This is the World Health Organization. So before they even got them looked at or quarantined to see if they had it, they've already flew home. And I'm gonna play this real quick. I'm not gonna play all of it because he's real feminine. But he got a couple points he wanted to make, because basically it's already here. So it's not like it's waiting to come here or anything like that. It's already in Babylon the Great.
I'm going to go ahead and let everybody know now. Anybody going on vacation, anybody getting on a boat, getting off the boat, going to go build a boat, 23 passengers from the hantavirus infected cruise ship has returned home, including to the U.S., and one is already sick. Hantavirus has an unalive rate of over 40%, while COVID-19 had only 1%. Yeah, listen, back to COVID rules. Your ass cough and it's more than 2 times, if you don't get away from all of us, we about to do something to your ass. Listen, this antivirus thing ain't nothing to play with. All that vacation stuff, you coming back and going straight to work from the airport, yeah, come in here and look like you under the weather. Yeah, we gonna put your ass under a desk. Listen, this antivirus thing is a serious situation, y'all. This is like a black plague type of thing. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Please be careful out here. If you know somebody that's been on a cruise ship lately, because we don't know.
That's the point I wanted to get to. This is like the Black Plague. So a lot of people are about to be put to death, man. As you see here, this is weird as well. It says researchers show the new hantavirus can shrink your penis by 3 inches. Now, why would that be in the virus? So this shows you that this is a man-made thing, man. It's a man-made thing, just like all the sexual transmitted diseases, all man-made, man. So we know Esau's behind this. Now check this out. He says a lot of interesting things too, man. And it's not a time to get. I want to go on vacation. I want to travel. I want to do all this. That's over with, man. Anybody in that mindset is doomed.
Did you know that the only study conducted on the hantavirus was by the U.S. Army in 2012? If you don't believe me, you could go look it up on the National Library of Medicine. The U.S. Army Medical Research Institute of Infectious Disease conducted a phase 1 trial evaluation of a DNA vaccine for hantavirus and pomalivirus. I came across this because people asked me if there was a biotech stock that would have exposure to this. After doing some research, there was no one else except the Army that did a study related to Hanta. There was only one company, I&O, that did a follow-on phase 2 study in 2020 based off the Army's data, but they used it to study dengue fever. The company stopped after that and chose to focus on other drugs. Hantavirus and dengue fever are not the same, and they are transmitted through different animals. They just share the same red flags and have the ability to cause viral hemorrhagic fever, VHF. Why am I telling you this? Because it's fascinating. No one's talking about this part. And if you're looking for a stock, there's no direct exposure to hantavirus yet. There are only companies working on dengue fever and VHF. So a little bit of tinfoil, a little bit of alpha. Pay attention.
So it's not a cure to it, and it's not a jab to it either. So they just basically throwing this thing out there, man, because they're gonna basically destroy over half the population, man. They want to cut it down, and the only thing is gonna get you through this time we're coming into is your faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. This is the time we're coming into, that your faith has to be in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. There's no way out of it. There's no way out of this, because this sickness, this illness is going to spread fast. And we just heard about it, a couple days ago? It's going to spread even faster, man. A lot of people are finna die from this thing, man.
Breaking fucking news, as the CDC says today, which do keep in mind is May 6th, that they are now monitoring 3 different U.S. states for potential hantavirus infection. Before I get into what states are monitoring potential outbreaks, I want to point this out. As you can see, at least 23 passengers for the hantavirus infected cruise ship MV Hondias have already left the boat and returned home, including to the U.S., according to a shocking new report, and one of them has already gotten sick. Travelers did not realize that they had been exposed to the deadly virus, which has a mortality rate of up to 40 fucking percent. Possible stops in remote and ecologically diverse regions, by the way, including mainland Antarctica, South Georgia, Nightingale Island, Tristan da Cunha, St. Helena, and Ascension Island. Now, people in at least 3 U.S. states were being monitored for potential hantavirus infections after the outbreak on the MV Hondias, though none had showed signs of illness, the New York Times reported earlier on Wednesday. Georgia is monitoring 2 residents, while California is monitoring an undisclosed number of residents who had also been on the ship, the newspaper said. And of course, the Georgia and California Departments of Public Health did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Holy fuck, people, it's starting to feel a little bit too familiar.
So it's going to travel fast, man. Like I said, they got 2 cases in Georgia, and California doesn't have a number of how many people are being monitored out there, man. So this thing's finna get ugly fast. It's finna get ugly fast, man. Now, this is on the X-Files. It spoke about the hantavirus. Now you gotta, like you said, put on your tinfoil hat, man, and just use your common sense to see what this thing is all about. This ain't no joke. They are releasing this similar to like a bubonic plague that may put a lot of people to death, man. Now check out this. You can look at the tweets at the bottom.
They want to discredit you for what?
Because I'm a dangerous man, because I know too much about the truth.
Now that end of the world apocalyptic garbage you write?
You know my work? I was right about Dallas, wasn't I?
How were you right?
Are you familiar with the hantavirus, Agent Mulder?
Yeah, it was a deadly virus spread by field mice in the southwestern United States several years ago.
According to the newspaper, FEMA was called out to manage an outbreak of the hantavirus. Are you familiar with what the Federal Emergency Management Agency's real power is? FEMA allows the White House to suspend constitutional government upon declaration of a national emergency. Think about that. What is an agency with such broad sweeping power doing managing a small viral outbreak in suburban Texas?
You're saying it wasn't such a small outbreak?
No. I'm saying it wasn't the hantavirus.
Well, what was it? What was it?
When we were young men in the military, your father and I were recruited for a project. They told us it was biological warfare, a virus.
What killed those men?
What killed them, I won't even write about. We have no context for what killed those men, or any appreciation of the scale at which it'll be unleashed in the future.
A plague?
Plague to end all plagues, Agent Mulder. A silent weapon for a quiet war. The systematic release of an indiscriminate organism for which the men who will bring it on still have no cure. They've been working on this for 50 years. While the rest of the world have been fighting gooks and commies, these men have been secretly negotiating a planned Armageddon.
Negotiating with whom?
I think you know. The timetable has been set. It'll happen on a holiday when people are away from their homes. The president will declare a state of emergency, at which time all government, all federal agencies will come under the power of the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, the secret government.
So you have it. This was on a television show, and I think I gotta tell you before they even really bring these things out, man. So this is not a coincidence that that pandemic ended in 2023 and began it again in 2026. It's not a coincidence. It's all orchestrated, all planned, man. So we're living in those times, man. Those end times, man. This is it. It's a plague to end all plagues. So it's a lot of people are gonna die. It's a lot of people gonna be put to death, man. And the Lord has blessed us with His wisdom, not His understanding, to overcome the things that are coming upon the earth, man. Let me hit a couple scriptures, and this is Hebrews 11:6. It says, "But without faith it is impossible to please Him, for he that cometh to power must believe that He is, and that He is a rewarder of them that diligently seek Him." So we're gonna have to diligently seek Him, as we always have, man. Continue to stay in His Word, man, because you're gonna have family members, friends die off, man. And they say this virus right here, a healthy person can die in a day. So man, yeah, this is deadly serious, man. We have to stay faithful to Yahweh Shem Shah, man, because this is no turning back. This is no time out. This is not gonna stop. As last time they had an end to it, and all of a sudden the virus kind of drew up because they wanted it to, man. This is Hebrews 1 in verse 16. It says, "For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Mashiach." And that's the point, man. We're not ashamed of this truth, man, because we seen the plagues coming, man. The Lord said He would bring plagues on Egypt again. And we're in Egypt. We're in Egypt right now, man. Spiritual Egypt. And I am not, says, "For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Mashiach, for it is the power of the Most High unto salvation to everyone that believe." See, to everyone that believe, to the Jew first, and also to the Greek. And you should understand who the Greek is. It's the Israelites that don't know who they're Israelites, man. The Hellenistic. It says, for therein is the righteousness of power revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the just shall live by faith. So we're truly gonna have to live by faith, man. Man, we're in a valley of the shadow of death, man, without a shadow of a doubt, man. You don't know where it's coming from. You don't know how it's gonna, spread. You going out to eat, restaurants and stuff, going to hidden clubs and stuff. That's over with, man. It's not even that. You don't just going to the grocery store and buying steak and chicken, man. You don't know if it's in that. So we truly gonna have to live by faith. Everything you do and say, it has to be with faith in the Lord, man. You have to pray to the Lord for every little thing, man. Because we in those days of great judgment, man. This is Ephesians 2 and verse 5. It says, even when we were dead in sin, hath quickened us together with the Mashiach. By the grace ye are saved. See, by grace ye are saved. It says, and hath raised us up together and made us to sit together in heavenly places in Hamashiach Yahushua. And this is the Lord working on our behalf, man, to put us in heavenly places and protect us, man, because we're going to need protection, man. You're not going to be able to get through this in your own power, man. This is a deadly disease, and also you're not going to be able to see where it's coming from, man. Verse 7, it says, that in the ages to come, ye might show this exceeding riches of his grace. See, we're in that time, man. And his kindness toward us through Hamashiach Yahushua. And this is how the elect is going to be protected and saved, man. It says, for by grace ye are saved through faith. See, by grace you are saved through faith. So we have to have faith is action. You got to put forth your action in faith, man. If it's by studying, going on the highways and byways, believing and praying, you have to show an effort to the Lord, man. Because a lot of people think the Lord is dealing with them. They saved, in Christian church, I already say they saved. You're basically smooth selling to the kingdom of heaven. But we know through the scriptures that we have to put forth an effort to the Lord for him to put forth an effort towards us, man. It says, for by grace are ye saved through faith. See, we're going to be saved through our faith. It says, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of power. See, it's a gift. The Lord gave the elect a gift. And we don't know for a fact we are the elect, or part of the elect. This is our hope. And this is what we're striving to, man. Putting forth an effort to the Lord and praying the Lord has mercy on us, man. This is 2 Timothy 1 and verse 8. But not thou, therefore, ashamed of the testimony of our Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So we're not ashamed of the testimony, man. It says, nor of him, nor of me, his prisoner. It says, but be thou partaker of the afflictions of the gospel according to the power of the Most High. It says, who has saved us and called us with an holy calling, not according to our works, but according to his own purpose and grace, which was given us in Hamashiach Yahushua before the world began. So the first fruits, the hope for the elect was this protection or this calling was given to us. Lord, what I'm part of that number before the foundation of the world, man. The first fruits. So we're striving for salvation, man. Because we've been called to understand the wisdom, knowledge, understand. We've been called to understand this truth, know who our power is, know who we are, and we just got to fight to the very end, man. Verse 10, it says, but it is now made manifest by the appearing of our Savior, Yahweh Shah Mashiach, who have abolished death. See, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua abolished death. So, Lord willing, we will be able to escape the death and judgment that the Lord is going to bring, man. And have brought life and immortality to light through the gospel. See, we're living through the gospel, man. And when the Lord appears, we're going to live forever. So this gospel has been given to us for salvation, man, to be saved, to build up our faith, to be saved, man. And this is what we are not ashamed of, which 2/3 of our people, they're ashamed of what we've been preaching, man. Us being the Israelites, Esau being a so-called white man. They've been ashamed of that, but not us, man. We see through our faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, this was true. This is what it all boils down to, man. Having faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and getting the victory over death as the Lord did, man. This is Colossians 1 and verse 21. It says, and you that were sometimes alienated and enemies in your mind by wicked works, yet now have ye reconciled in the body of his flesh through death, to present you holy and unblameable and reprovable in his sight. And that's the elect, man. Those are going to escape the judgment that's coming, man. It says, if ye continue in faith. So you got to be unblameable, holy, unblameable, and unreprovable in his sight. If you continue in faith. So you're going to have to continue in faith, man. Because this right here is going to shake a lot of people's faith, man. Just say, for example, your brother or your sister or your mom or your dad, somebody close to you gets this sickness, man. And they drop dead, man. Then the next day, your auntie, uncle, cousin drop dead. Then say down the line, same thing happen again and over and over and over in a short period of time, man. This will shake your faith, man. This is going to shake a lot of people's faith, man. Seeing people die left and right that's close to you, that's going to be a lot to overcome, man. And this is why it says you have to be grounded in the faith, man. You have to be grounded in the faith of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. Let me finish it up. It says, if you continue in the faith grounded and settled and be not moved away. See, you can't be moved. You can't be shaken from the hope of the gospel. And the gospel said the elect will be saved, man. Which ye have heard and which was preached to every creature which is under heaven. Wherefore I, Paul, am made minister. So Paul was made to minister this, and men of the Lord as well, man. Been made to minister to our people to continue in the faith, man. And don't let your faith get shaken of the things is coming up on the earth, man. Because just say, for example, if you get it, this is also the time the Lord is going to heal brothers as well, man. That's written as well, for you to be healed. So not to be shaken in faith, man. Only the elect are going to understand this, man, and come and stay firm in this truth. This is Mark 10 and drop down to verse 46. This is verse 46. It says, and they came to Jericho, and as he went out of Jericho with his disciples and a great number of people, blind Bartimaeus, the son of Timotheus, sat by the highway side begging. And when he had heard that it was Yahushua of Nazareth, he began to cry out and say, Yahushua, thou son of David, have mercy on me. And many charged him that he should hold his peace. So they told him, be quiet, man. Stop calling out for the Lord, man. He said, but he cried the more a great deal, thou son of David, have mercy on me. And Yahushua stood and still and commanded him commanded him to be called. And they called the blind man, saying unto him, be of good comfort, rise, he calleth thee. And see, the Lord has called us personally, man, into this faith, man. It says, and he casting away his garment, rose and came to Yahushua. And Yahushua answered and said unto him, what will thou that I should do unto thee? The blind man said unto him, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, that I might receive my sight. Yahushua said unto him, Go thy way, thy faith hath made thee whole. See? Just say you get that sickness, man. You call on the name of the Lord, man. That's why the name is so important. He didn't call on Apostle Peter or any other disciples. He called on Yahushua, man. So this goes to show you that you have to have a name. And say you get it, man. You get the sickness, you get the virus or whatever. You're going to be calling on the name of the Lord, man. And by your faith, the Lord is going to heal you. He says, and immediately he received his sight and followed Yahushua in the way. See, he built up his faith in him. And he followed him. And he healed him. So we got to understand, man, these times we're coming into, our faith is going to be very, very important, man. That's the only thing you're going to have, man. They're finna close. You can see that the MOTB is, man. When these people start dropping dead, man, people going to take the MOTB, man. Because they're going to close these stores up. They, you know, when they was doing the mask and shit, when the last CV hit, they was making it real weird to go in these stores. They was scanning your forehead, all type of shit, man. Just imagine now when people dropping dead, the mortality rate is 40%. People dropping dead left and right. You can see it being built up that way, man. For them to introduce the MOTB in the midst of all hell breaking loose, man. You see it coming. This is Acts 3 and verse start at verse 11. I'll get to the point. It says, and as the lame man which was healed held Peter and John, all the people ran together unto them in the porch that is called Solomon's, greatly wondering. So this is basically when Peter and John healed the lame man. Let me continue on. It says, and when Peter saw it, he answered unto the people, ye men of Israel. See, ye men of Israel, why marvel ye at this? And why look ye so earnestly on us? As though by our own power or holiness we have made this man to walk. The power of Abraham and of Isaac and of Jacob, the power of our fathers have glorified his son, Yahushua, whom ye delivered up and denied him in the presence of Pilate. And he's talking to these Israelites, man. You denied the Lord in the presence of Pilate, man. It says when he was determined to let him go. So you didn't want the Lord to. That's why I bring this out, because a lot of our people are going to be judged, and they are the same people that wanted the Lord to be crucified in the presence of Pilate, man. And like I said, when we was determined to let him go, but ye denied the Holy One and the just, and desired a murderer to be granted unto you, and killed the Prince of Life, whom power have raised from the dead, whereof we are witnesses. See, we're going to be witnesses of the judgment that's coming on 2/3 of our people, man. It says, and this name through faith, see, this name through faith, which when you went back up, we didn't do this on our own power. We glorified Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. So we're going to have to know the name, especially in the time we're coming into. We always need to know the name, but this is going to have that power that we're going to need, man. It says, in his name through faith, in his name, let me read that again. It says, and his name through faith, in his name hath made this man strong. See, but through the name of the Lord, he was healed, man. By the hands of Peter and John, man. He was healed in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And this is what we continue to knock on the IUIC's foreheads, man. You got to know the name of the Lord, man. And let me finish it up. It says, whom ye see and know, ye the faith which is by him have given him this perfect soundness, in the presence of you all. See, the Lord, through the name of the Lord, he's going to heal men of the Lord in the presence of everyone, man. This is how the men of the Lord going to get fame, and that spiritual power is going to come on the men of the Lord, man, especially in these times coming now, man. When the death rate is going to be daily, man, 100,000, 20,000, 30,000, 10,000, 5,000, man. You're going to see a lot of people drop dead, man. But through the faith of the Lord blessed us as a gift for the elect. We make it through, man. All these troubling times are coming. Jacob's trouble, man, is for to ramp up to the limits. So I'm in it there, Lord willing. It was edifying. Shalom. Shalom.